Welcome to CINEPRO, where we bring your favorite movies back to life with quick recaps, hidden details, and everything you missed. Our movie starts with a huge fire in the forest, and all the firefighters are trying to control the situation. But unfortunately, many people died that day. Suddenly, Hannah wakes up from sleep. She was dreaming about that day, and since then she has felt guilty because she was part of the rescue team and could not save her colleagues and the children who died. Anyway, the next morning we see these two men standing in front of a house. One of them tells the woman who opens the door, "We're from the gas company. We got a warning that there's a gas leak in your house." He asks her, "Is your husband home?" She gets startled and says, "Yes, he's in the bathroom." After a while, they finish their work and leave. But in a split second, the house blows up. Apparently, they were asking about her husband because they wanted to get rid of him and his family. In another house, this man is making breakfast for his son, and he sees the news about the house that exploded. His face changes color because he realizes his boss was killed and they're after him. Without thinking, he grabs his son and leaves, getting out of there completely. When his son says, "I have an exam tomorrow," he tells him, "That doesn't matter." They know they have to leave immediately. At the same time, we see all the firefighters in a meeting. Hannah is with them. She is the team leader and also the most sensitive one in the group, so everyone is watching her. She's outspoken and treats them all as if they're invisible. She loves driving the trucks and riding the ATVs. Officer Ethan comes to her and starts scolding her for her carelessness. By the way, Ethan used to be in a relationship with her, but because she's so stubborn, they didn't work out. He tells her the best solution for her is to move to the watchtower so she can stop the nonsense she's doing to herself. She tells him she can't handle the tower either. He tells her to do what's right so she can get over all her nonsense. Then he goes back to his wife, who is pregnant and about to deliver, and tells her about what happened to him. So let's leave him talking to her and go to Owen, who didn't know where to go or what to do. When his son asks him, "What did you do?" he says, "I did the right thing. You know I'm an accountant. I found out things that could send a lot of people in this country to hell, and because of what I found out, my boss was killed today. I'm sure they're after us too." When his son suggests calling the police, he tells him that these corrupt people control the police and have them in their pocket. The police will just hand us over to them. And indeed, we see the same two men searching for him at his house. When they're sure he's not there, they decide to search his laptop and safe to find any information that might lead them to him. They find out he withdrew the money from his account. When they look at his photos with his son, they see Ethan with them in the pictures and realize he's a relative, and it's very likely Owen will ask him for help. Their guess turns out to be correct, and Owen calls Ethan, who is his son's uncle, and tells him, "Help us, we're in trouble." The next morning, Hannah arrives at the watchtower where she'll be staying, which is in the middle of the forest. Owen and his son spend the night in a hotel, and he tells his son he's writing down all his secrets for him. He makes him promise not to open the letter until after he dies, and never to give it to anyone except someone he trusts completely. Meanwhile, Ethan sits with his boss and tells him about Owen and the trouble he's in. His boss tells him he needs the FBI. When Ethan says he's thinking of contacting the press, his boss refuses and tells him, "As soon as he gets to you, let me know and I'll handle it." Hannah is standing there lost in thought, unable to forgive herself because of the fire incident. She remembers what happened and keeps crying. When her colleague calls, she vents to him, and he tries to comfort her, telling her that the Forest Service officials have to blame someone before the blame falls on them, and tells her to forget it and stop blaming herself. Meanwhile, Owen and his son are on their way to Ethan, but they don't know that those two guys are waiting for them. Hannah sees lightning and thunder in the sky, gets scared, and rushes down, but falls on the barriers and gets up like nothing happened. Anyway, the guy is still on the road, and suddenly they shoot at him. He tries to resist but can't control the steering wheel, and unfortunately, he crashes. Luckily, his son is okay. He gives him the letter with the secrets and tells him to run away quickly. He apologizes to him and tells him to call the news and all the TV channels and give them the letter. The boy keeps running, not knowing where he's going. The gang checks on them and assumes they must be dead. But Owen, to make sure they think he and his son are dead and don't go after his son, steps on the gas so they shoot at him again. Of course, it was a very tough scene. A woman passes by on the road and they kill her too. After a while, Ethan passes by the same road, the road that leads to his house. He sees a car parked on the side, and when he gets out, he finds a dead woman. When he looks around, he sees a car and immediately understands what happened. Meanwhile, Hannah is still lost in thought, remembering what happened and crying. By chance, she sees Connor running. When she runs after him, he keeps running, scared. She keeps telling him, "Wait, son, I won't hurt you. Wait, for God's sake." She tells him, "You're bleeding." He says, "That's not my blood." When he tries to run away, she tells him, "Fine, do whatever you want. Let's see how you'll get out of this forest if you even get out at all." She lets him know she can help him and maybe call the police. He says, "No, no police. Call the news quickly." She tells him, "No problem. Come with me to the tower and I'll do whatever you want." Jack and Patrick go to their boss, who says the information must be with the boy and insists they get rid of him and Ethan too, so the case can be closed and they can be done with this headache. They disguise themselves in FBI uniforms and change the car's license plate, but before they leave, they decide to cause a disaster first so the whole town gets distracted while they finish their mission. They set the forest on fire. They leave, and the fire spreads in the forest, causing chaos, and Ethan sees the smoke from a distance. Hannah can't contact anyone because lightning struck the tower. She gives Connor food and asks him what's his story. He tells her, "Dad told me if something happens, look for someone you trust." He takes out the letter and gives it to her, meaning he trusts her. When she opens it, she realizes he's in danger. She gives him back the letter and says they have to leave immediately. At the same time, the news is all over the place about the forest fire. Ethan's wife is sitting listening to the news and hears a knock on the door. It's Patrick and Jack. They ask her about her husband, and she senses they're not really from the authorities or the police. And when they tried to close the door, they stopped her. They entered and threatened her with weapons. When they asked her about the boy, she told them he was supposed to come but didn't show up. So they made her call his husband and tell him she was sick so he would come back. But she secretly sent him a distress signal without them noticing. But they weren't easy and understood what she had done. She managed to push them away with the spray she had, grabbed her weapon, and shot at them. Ethan and his boss arrived quickly, but his boss was killed. They managed to overpower him and take his weapon. On the other side, Hannah was walking in the forest. She was teaching Connor how to avoid lightning. Suddenly, lightning struck them and she got injured. But she was tough and didn't die. She sat with the boy to rest for a while. They kept talking, and she told him about the incident that made her sad all the time. As for Patrick and Jack, they said the boy was definitely dead, but they still took Ethan and looked for him. When Ethan saw the trace of his feet on the ground, tried to hide it, but got caught, and they realized he was still alive. He told them, "I'd rather die with dignity." So they hit him and said, "You will be the one to kill him." At the same time, Hannah was still walking in the forest and was surprised by the big fire in the woods. As soon as she saw it, she got nervous and remembered the old days. The fire had caught a large part of the forest. She was still zoning out and told him they had to go back to where they came from. The boy told her, "There's no point, I just want to get out of here." She told him the fire would eat up anything in its way. Anyway, they'll send a plane because of the fire, and the plane will definitely pass over the tower. It's better for us to go back. So she took him and went back. She kept tending to her wounds. As for Allison, she was still alive. She opened the tracking device and found Ethan's location. She took her weapons and horse and headed into the forest, but they had already reached the tower. She saw them and hid, telling Connor not to make a sound. She asked him if he knew what the people who killed Owen looked like. He said he knew them. When he looked at them, he told her, "It's them, and my uncle is with them." She was shocked and told him to hide quickly. Down below, Patrick and Jack told Ethan to go up and check from above. If the boy was up there, bring him down, and if not, burn the whole tower before coming down. He went up. Hannah told him, "If you're hiding, stay where you are." He told her there were 2 people below aiming their guns at them. He saw Hannah and realized Connor was with her, but the devils below kept repeating themselves so they could see what Ethan was doing in the tower. Ethan told Hannah he didn't know what to do. She told him the fire would reach them in less than an hour, and that might help them escape. But Jack saw Ethan's lips moving and realized he was talking to someone. He quickly shined a light on him, and Hannah took Connor and lowered him down the other side with a rope. Ethan was injured and stayed in the tower. They were about to chase Hannah and Connor when someone started shooting at them. Jack and Patrick had to split up. Jack ran towards Hannah and Connor while Patrick went towards the gunfire. It was Allison. She waited for the right moment and shot him. She got close and found out Ethan was in the tower. Before he could surprise her and shoot her, she finished him off. Hannah found her path blocked and couldn't continue because of her leg wound. She told Connor to go towards the river and that she would follow him, but more slowly. At that time, Allison reached Ethan and found he was still alive, but he had taken a few bullets. Unfortunately, the fire was getting closer. Hannah was hiding from Jack, and as soon as he got close, she tried to hit him, but he was stronger with his weapon. He was about to finish her when Connor appeared to save her. Quickly, she hit Jack and told Connor to run, but Jack literally beat up Hannah. He told Connor, "If you don't show yourself, I'll kill her." Connor came out and said, "That's enough." As soon as he got close, Hannah hit Jack and pushed him towards the fire. She took Connor and ran toward the fire, while Ethan and his wife sat, resigned, each putting on a mask to be able to breathe. The fire looked terrifying, but in the morning, the fire had stopped completely, and Hannah and Connor were fine. As for Allison, she woke up and was still alive, but Ethan had died, of course, because of the bullets he took. The rescue team arrived late and saved them. When they returned, Hannah told Connor to talk to the press and the news. She promised him she would always stay by his side and never leave him. And that's how our movie ends. If you liked today's video, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell to receive all new updates. See you in the next video.